All right, guys. Hey there, it's Mrs. Matheson. Here's your notes video for your Unit 3, Notes 3 on multiplying monomials. All right, so remember we talked about monomials briefly yesterday, that a monomial is a one term. It's a number, it's a variable, it's a product of a number and one or more variable. So product, remember, is multiplication. Um, Monomials that are all real numbers are called constants. So this part up here is going to go into the box for your definition. And then this stuff down here are just examples. So we have examples of just numbers, we have examples of just variables, and then here's some examples where they are a product of a number and a variable. All right, so rules of exponents. So our product of powers, you're going to add your exponents. And so here's your example. So you have a to the sixth and a to the third. That's like saying 6a's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6a's times 3a's. Well, how many do you have? You have a to the ninth. So that's why we are going to go ahead and add our exponents. So you're always going to add those exponents. Then we have power of a power, and here we're going to multiply our exponents. And this is something where we see like a power outside of the parentheses. So we're going to distribute it in. So think I distribute, so I'm going to multiply. But not only does it go there, it also is going to go to that constant or that coefficient, which has an exponent of 1. So this becomes 5 squared a to the 12th. Now that 5 squared, though, we wouldn't leave it like 5 squared. We'd want to simplify that. So I'm actually going to change that and put 25 a to the 12th. All right, and then 0 power, I know we briefly talked about this. Anything to a 0 power turns to 1. So notice here we have a big long piece and it's inside parentheses and it's to the 0 power, so it's going to be 1. All right, if you missed that, go back, review, rewind, and pause the video. Okay, properties of simplified monomials. So each base appears exactly once. So you don't have 2 x's in your answer or 7 y's in your answer. You can have the power there, but you just don't want multiple of the variable. There's no power of a power, so there's nothing that I need to distribute in through. And then the last one is all fractions are in simplest form. So you want to reduce. So pause the video here if you need to. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our first example. So I don't have any parentheses, so I don't have anything I need to distribute. So now I'm going to go ahead and I have x times x squared. So that's going to become x cubed. All right, so I go through and I say, am I down to one variable of each? Yep. Do I have any powers of power, anything to distribute? Nope. Are all my fraction reduced? Yep. All right, perfect. So that becomes my solution. Now, if I look at this next problem, I'm going to throw in coefficients of both of these. So if I put 3 and 2 like this, your thought should be that I need to multiply those. And that's the same thing. I'm going to multiply my coefficients here. Sorry about that. And now I'm going to add the powers for my variables. So don't forget this y has a 1, so that becomes 9. So 6x to the 4th, y to the 9th. Now I want to just mention you have 3 times 2 here. If you had something like x cubed times x squared, our coefficients are 1. So think about it. If I had 1 times 1 or 1 times 1 like that, I'm still going to multiply them. So this one is going to become x to the 5th, not 2x to the 5th. I don't add my coefficients there. Keep it the same as the other ones. All right, take a look at 3. Everything is in the parentheses and it's all to the 0 power, so that makes this whole thing go to 1. Now if we look at number 4, only the second set of parentheses is in the 0 or has a 0 power, so only the second parentheses goes to 1. So my first parentheses stays, and I don't really need to write times 1 at the end. All right, 5, I'm going to distribute my squared all the way through. So don't forget, every single piece gets the squared. So we get 4 squared, x squared, y, and now I'm going to multiply these to get to the 4th. You don't want to leave 4 squared, so you want to simplify that to 16. X squared, y to the 4th. All right, go ahead and pause the video here, and I want you to go ahead and do 6 on your own, and then when you push play again, I am going to have 6 done for you. All right, how'd you do? Remember, 2 to the 4th does not mean 2 times 4. It's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, so 2 to the 4th. So we get 16 x to the 4th, y to the 4th. All right, now we're looking here, we got to simplify. So I have a 1 as a coefficient here. So 5 times 1, I end up with 5. And I'm going to add my exponents to get 13. Not too bad, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so my 4 and my 7, remember, multiply coefficients. So that becomes a negative 28. Here I have an a to the 1st, so I get a to the 3rd, and b to the 9th. What are your thoughts so far? Hopefully you're thinking, this isn't bad. Oh no, okay, these look a little scary, but honestly, these are so totally doable parts. So let's look at number 9. In my first parentheses, is there anything that I need to simplify? Anything I need to distribute? No, there's nothing. So I'm just going to rewrite this as is. Now in my second set of parentheses, I see 2 sets of parentheses. So I can do 2 things. One, I could distribute my squared, my 2 here, through, and then do the 3 through, or I can multiply my powers and then distribute it in. And I'm going to do that. So I end up with negative 2y to the 6th. And now I'm going to distribute a 6th power through there. So my first parentheses, I haven't done anything with. So I'm going to leave those. My second parentheses, I'm going to distribute in my 6th power. So when you type in negative 2 to the 6th power, please make sure you put negative 2 in parentheses. It's going to get a totally different answer than if you put in negative 2 to the 6th. This one here is going to take 2 to the 6th power first and then do your negative. So that's why you want to do the above method. All right, so 2 to the 6th turns into 64, and I get y to the 6th. Now I'm going to take 3 times 64, so I get 192, x, y to the 10th. So, looked scary, wasn't too bad. Same with number 10. Here, I'm going to distribute my cubed to my fraction, and when you distribute it to a fraction, it goes to the numerator and the denominator. So 1 cubed over 2 cubed. I'm going to multiply the 2 and the 3 to get a to the 6th. I'm going to do the same for the b, so b to the 6th. So I put that in parentheses. All right, here, again, I'm going to multiply my powers first to simplify that. Negative 4b to the 4th. All right, let's go back to the first parenthesis. 1 to the 3rd gives me 1. 2 to the 3rd, I end up with 8. And I get a 6th, b 6th. All right, now I'm going to take negative 4 to the 4th. Remember, again, put that negative 4 in parentheses. So I get 256 b to the 4th. All right, 1/8 times 256. Same thing, hint, hint, as 256 divided by 8. And you're going to end up with 32. We have our a to the 6th, and we end up with a b to the 10th. All right, we're cooking along here. This next one says to express the area of the square as a monomial. Area of a square, base times height. So 4ab times 4ab. All right, I'm going to have you pause the video here, and then when you come back, you'll find the answer. Four times 4, we get 16, a squared, b squared. All right, last problem here. It's a triangle. The area formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So I'm going to take 1/2 times 3, a to the 4th, b times 4, AB to the 5th. Okay, I want you to pause the video here and try this one on your own. I will repeat this again, but this 1/2 power or 1/2 here is not a power, it's a coefficient. So only multiply it by the coefficients. All right, pause the video and then come on back. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to multiply my 3 times 4, and I get 12. I add my exponents, a to the 5th, b to the 6th, and now I'm going to multiply the half times 12, and I get 6. If you were thinking about distributing, you would only distribute the 1/2 through to one set of the parentheses, not both of them. All right. Hope that helped you out there, ladies and gentlemen. Again, feel free to rewind it, watch it again, pause it, do as you need. Have a great night.